This guy was the first guy to ever ask me out on a date. And so we got married, and it was happily ever after, forever.
Not at all. I'm Ryan.
I'm Kristin.
We've been married for 17 years, and it has not been bliss. We have 3 kids, a 12, 11.
No.
3 kids. We have a 13, 11,
Almost 12,
and a 5-year-old. How do we get into this?
I don't know.
I brought in an addiction to pornography into the marriage that she didn't know about, and I kept it hidden for probably first year or so. 12 years down the road, it's still there, and what I assumed to be a bad habit really was a deep-rooted addiction that was controlling my life, and it was eating me alive from the inside. It escalated beyond just looking at porn on the internet. It turned into just doing reckless things.
The thing for me that was so hard was I was following Christ actively, and I was on my knees daily, literally on my knees, asking God, is this who you want to marry? Is this? And I kept getting a resounding yes, this is the man that was meant for you. And so I went into marriage with that foundation. And so I had all hopes that it was going to be fantastic, because if God was blessing it, if God was for it, how on earth could it fall apart? When I look back on those 12 years, it was one of, well, I mean, it was just hell on earth. Me just achingly crying out to God, asking him why he would want this for me, why he would have chosen this life for me. And I didn't understand, because I knew God knew what was going to happen. God's omniscient. God knows everything. I cried out to God for years like that. Why would you do that to me? God meant for us to be great, but sin came in and just ruined it.
I've had so many people ask me, like, well, what was rock bottom for you? And I was like, I don't know. I mean, I couldn't remember. And then it wasn't that long ago, really, that we were talking about it, and Kristin said, it was all rock bottom. Well, I think before, when I would try to, will myself to be clean or whatever, it was really for you. And
because of what you were putting me through.
Yeah, because I wanted a wife to love me, and I wanted our marriage to work. And so I was doing it because of Kristin, but it really wasn't until, like she said, our marriage was already dead. And we were just coexisting roommates with children. And it was in October 2013, I made the decision for myself. I was like, I was done. And I wanted to turn my life around. Not just for my wife to have a better husband, but for me to be a better man. October this year will be 5 years clean. So it's pretty cool.
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal. There's a lot of marriages, and they'll go through hard times, and they'll say, oh, it was worth it, all those 15 years. I'd do it all again for what we have now. And I don't think we're there.
My heart breaks for the people who are going through that as well. And so God has brought people periodically in the last 5 years specifically. And we've been able to, in essence, turn around and help people who are going through the same thing we did. And that has been, by far, I think, one of the best things that has come out of this. It's like the horrible things that happen in your life, and you think that maybe like God will work around it. But in this instance, I think God is working through it that it wasn't anything that the Lord intended for my marriage. God didn't want him to spend 12 years of his life addicted. He didn't want me to have to go through all of that. That wasn't his plan. And that was a huge revelation for me when I realized that was never part of his plan. He wanted good for me and wanted wonderful for me, and Satan came in and tried to rob that from me and him. I think we're to the point now, maybe in a way, if we can turn around and comfort those with the same comfort God has given us, and maybe God will redeem those lost years, and God do amazing things in other marriages and in other people through us.
There was a long time, even after I was clean, that I felt unworthy to be used by God. Like I felt like I had made myself disqualified.
I think God has shown us that we are valuable to him even while we're broken.
There's a Japanese art form that takes cracked and broken vessels or pots or bowls or cups or whatever, and they repair them with gold, making it more beautiful and more valuable than it was when it began. And I think that's what he's doing to us, is he's filling us where we're broken and making us more valuable. It's because of our brokenness that God can use us to help others.